Hello again, it's Dr. B, and this is video 2. And once again, it's all from the handout. And this one's going to go with number 3 on the handout. Practice their basic chunks and sight words, and how to do that. And how they do that is listen to this video. Okay, so let's do a quick share screen. There are some chunks that uh, everyone's learned this year. Okay, and here they are: at, and ought. Okay, and by now, everybody should know those chunks by heart. So I'm going to ask you, first of all, what are the 3 chunks? If you said at, and ought, you remembered them. And if you didn't, you need to listen to the video a couple of times until you can just do that by heart. That you know, oh, those are the 3 chunks that Dr. B wants us to always know. And these are 3 chunks that we've learned in school this year: at, and ought. All right. Well, now as we go along, you should know how to spell at. So right now, spell at. Say it out loud. Did you spell at? A-T. If you did, you'd know at now. Okay. Spell an. Did you spell an? A-N. You did. Okay. If you did, then you know it. And now get ready. Spell ought. Did you spell ought? O-T. Now, you know in class that we took these chunks and we made new words out of them. Okay. And that's just a fun thing to do. And when you're doing some making and breaking, you can put 1 or 2 or 3 of these up and see how many real words you can make. Now, I'm not interested in silly words. I'm interested in real words. I wonder what we could add to at to make a new word. How about this? At. All right. I wonder what we could add to an to make a new word. How about this? And I wonder what we could add to ought to make a new word. How about hot? Hot. I would like for you to, when you're playing with your letters, as long as you have them, when you're playing with your letters, to start each time you play with them by remembering your 3 chunks and then adding different letters to them to make new words, and see how many words you can make with all the chunks. And if you want to, you can even, take a word that you used, take a letter that you used on this one, pat, or I'm sorry, pan, and make pan, pat, and make pot. Now, sometimes it'll make a silly word. Mott is not a real word, is it? So, but I want you to concentrate on making all the real words you can out of these letters. Now, why is this so important? Because once you're out of the very beginning kindergarten, you learn how to sound like k, a, t. Okay, but by 3rd or 4th week, maybe 5th week in kindergarten, we start using chunks, and we start doing it by chunk, like k, at, and p, and m, ot. Okay, it helps you to learn your letters. It helps you to learn your chunks if you know how to spell them. So before I stop this part of things, I want you to spell the 3 chunks again. Did you spell them A-T, at, A-N, and O-T, ought? Okay, here are 2 more things to learn how to spell. There are a couple of words that just don't followed the rules that well. And so these words we learn by heart. And that's an important thing to know. Uh, the two words that I want you to know by heart are, do you know this one? The. Do you know this one? Said. And the best way to learn those words by heart is to know how to spell them. Can you spell the? Did you spell it T-H-E? Can you spell said? Did you spell it S-A-D? Okay, if you did, then you know those two words. Now, as we go on to other things for the summer, we're going to add some new chunks. We'll have a chunk or two for every book that I want you to play with over the summer. So you'll add those new chunks. But it's really important that you know these basic chunks, the chunks that you learned at the very beginning of the year. Everybody should know these by heart. Everybody should know how to spell them. Now, for the parents, we don't want them to memorize very many words. Okay, the only words we want them to memorize are those words that are spelled so poorly or break so many rules that it's just better to learn how to spell them by heart. Everything else we would love for them to sound out themselves. And if they start, and when you ask them to sound out, be sure to say the magic words. Do you see any chunks you know? And a lot of times, once they see the chunk, oh, I can sound that word out. So try when you're helping them read, try to make sure they use those chunks to figure out their own words. All right. So that's all that we'll be doing here. For parents, I sent home at the start of the year some magnetic letters. And if you can keep those all the way till just before school's out. And then I'd like for you to send those back so that I have them for next year's kids. And if you want more magnetic letters, I'll have on the handout a link where you can buy your own set of magnetic letters. And the magnetic letters are just handy to have and handy to use. And make it a game. Make it a game just like we did. Okay, so I hope everyone knows their 4 basic chunks. I hope they know their 2 basic sight words by heart and they can spell them. And if you can do that, then you're ready for video 3. And video 3 is reading the books that I've sent for summer work, for summer play. Okay, so video 3 will be coming up shortly.